Hi class, my name is Orsoya and I am going to present Let's Begin with the Letter People curriculum. In 1964, first grade teacher struggled daily to focus the attention of her 24 students. Elaine Rice, the teacher, was determined and working in collaboration with an early childhood coordinator, Rita Friedman, to create a program that made students eager and active participants in their learning activities. Scientifically based research demonstrates clearly that early success in reading and writing is a major predictor how well children will do in school. This curriculum focuses on 4 elements: early literacy skills, play, social skills, and it also has a strong home link. The main idea of this curriculum is that each letter of the English alphabet has a unique and engaging personality. These characters have very special identifying characteristics and also memorable personal songs. These engaging letter people throughout the activities draw the child into the learning process. So each character will teach each child something new every day. Let's begin with the Letter People provides 5 thematically organized teacher resource books. You see the list here. It's Ready, Set, Go, at home and at school, at the park and at the doctor's office, in the community and at the zoo, and in the garden and at the museum. Each of the teacher resource books contain 6 or 7 units and offer varied teaching strategies and suggested activities. Each unit contains 5 daily menus of activities, including suggestions for interest and meeting circle, as well as differentiation activities and family activity pages. The teacher resource books are designed to provide teachers with a number of choices for teaching knowledge and skills in language and literacy, as well as in science, math, art, music, social development, health and safety, and motor skills. Through the interest centers, children are able to explore, investigate, construct, and apply knowledge. Skills are integrated into the classroom's daily events and are taught using a number of materials such as puppets, books, story tapes, songs and rhymes, virtual books, and a Mig bag to share special items. There are even stickers for the kids. Teachers introduce concepts during meeting circle time that are then explored in the interest centers and other group activities. The scope and sequence describes what skills and content a student should have mastered by the end of the curriculum, and the progressive order in which he encounters those skills and content objectives. You see the list here. All these are being targeted throughout the curriculum. Verbal expression, oral language, book print awareness, alphabetic knowledge, reading and literature, writing, vocabulary, math, science, social studies, art and music, health and safety, personal social development, physical development, and even there are technology applications. This comprehensive list also includes when a particular skill is introduced and when the same skill is reintroduced in further lessons and units. You can see on this page how each subject area includes standards and how and when these are taught, throughout the thematical units. As we discussed, this curriculum dominantly focuses on literacy skills, and I wanted to take you more into the details of how this is done when this program is put in practice. First, we are going to talk about oral language and listening and speaking skills. Throughout the daily activities, children engage in listening and speaking. They also sing, rhyme, and play together, using their skills in receptive and expressive language. Children have the opportunities to talk, listen, ask, and answer questions. They listen to stories. They are pretending to read the story. They are telling the story and discuss their own thoughts in a group. During these verbal oral language activities, listening and speaking activities, children will increase their vocabularies, and they also will learn to use the language as a tool to express themselves. The next literacy skill that we are going to look at is print awareness. This is forms and knowledge of print. Children, when they come in every day to school, they have a meeting circle activity, often a reading room activity, where children have the chance to read with their teacher's help. They also engage in various activities that enhances their familiarity to print. Throughout these activities, children will eventually realize that it is not the pictures that tell the story, but it is the print. During these meaningful encounters, children also experience with writing that reinforces the importance of letters and print. They have frequent read-aloud books. They see environmental prints around the classroom. This will help to develop their knowledge of letter shapes and words. Our next literacy skill is the phonological and phonemic awareness. This is the ability to notice, think about, and work with features of spoken language. Children will learn throughout the activities is that words are made up of sounds, phonemes. Also, they build a strong foundations to be able to read. Children are encouraged to play with words, to experiment with rhymes and alliterations, and to hear and repeat nursery rhymes, songs, and poems. Here you see the letter people family. You see the puppets where the capital letter is on the front of the puppet and the lowercase letter is on the back for identification. The children interact with these puppets every day. They also have their characteristics and songs that the children know. This reinforces the association between the letter's name, shape, and sound. The next literacy skill is writing and spelling. At this age, the pre-K age, children are scribbling, they are trying to color, and also they are trying to stay within the line how to color a picture. During these activities, throughout the curriculum, they are able to see how the teacher models to write different letters, how to write those different shapes of the letters. Art activities also are connected with letter writing and letter drawing. So the children are getting more familiar with the shape of the letters that they learn about. For example, when the children are learning about the letter N with Mr. N, in the ABC Center, the children will trace a capital letter N and decorate it with dried noodles. The next literacy skill that this curriculum targets is vocabulary development. Vocabulary words relate common concepts, preparing children for kindergarten. New words are introduced with each unit and being reinforced throughout the activities. Children learn to name of colors, shapes, numbers in preparation of kindergarten. There are children who are more advanced can also experiment with ready-to-read pre-codable books included with the curriculum. Social development is also an important element in this curriculum. At this age, pre-K age, the children are moving and transitioning from egocentrism to a well-adjusted child with more than one perspective. This is when they are ready to enter kindergarten. Throughout the Letter People curriculum activities, the children see different personalities, since each puppet, each letter has a different personality. This encourages children to think outside of their own box. Throughout the adventures of these characters, the children are able to help these characters out in conflict, suggesting a resolution. Children also have an opportunity to think about better ways to solve a disagreement between each other as well. With this next slide, we are going to look at the multicultural component of Let's Begin with the Letter People. The curriculum provides multiple materials in a language other than English for use inside the classroom and for families outside when the home link is being utilized. These materials are not provided in other languages. Let's look at the materials, how they represent diversity of culture. Multiple materials represent diversity in terms of culture, ethnicity, gender. However, the curriculum does not provide guidance in how to select classroom materials that are responsive to the cultural and linguistic diversity within the Child Care Center. Let's look at the dual language learners. How does the curriculum support the dual language learners in the classroom? There are prompts that are provided for how the teacher can support dual language learners in the classroom in a general manner. For example, within the Ready, Set, Go teacher guide. The curriculum provides some support for teachers on ways to encourage development of the children's home languages. And lastly, how does this curriculum meet cultural needs specific to the center? The curriculum provides minimal suggestions for how to adapt the instruction to meet a specific center's cultural and linguistic needs. This will be up to the teacher who teaches these children by knowing their culture and heritage. With this next slide, we are going to look at goals and objectives and how the curriculum supports the goals and objectives throughout the daily activities. The first one is going to be the key activities. Each theme and booklet includes and highlights on key activities to support developmental objectives when instructional time is limited. Also in these booklets, there are notes for the English language learners, how and what type of techniques the teacher could use to involve and include those students during these different class activities. These booklets also highlight at each activity what the children do and what the teacher needs to look for. This will help the teacher understand what the goal of the activity is and how far the children will get to accomplish that goal. Also, we need to talk about the home link. This includes family activity pages and a me bag, show and tell me bag, that the children take home and bring back special items to show and tell. The next slide is going to explain to us what type of assessment tools this curriculum uses. There are pre and post assessments that the teachers do before and after each unit. Pre-assessment will show the teacher where the children are coming from, what their individual strengths and needs are, so that the teacher can plan accordingly. Post-assessments will show the gains, the progress of the children, and this will help to assess individual progress and possible continued room for improvement. There's a third type of assessment, which is an ongoing observational assessment that the teacher does. This is rather an anecdotal notes combined with portfolios so that the teacher can see how the children are getting ready for kindergarten throughout the pre-K year. With our next slides, we are going to look at research. How effective is this curriculum really is? The first research is a study of classroom literacy interventions and outcomes in Even Start. 60 classrooms for each of 2 interventions were assigned, plus control groups. The classroom literacy intervention and outcomes study is the 4th national evaluation of the Even Start Family Literacy Program, which was established to help break the cycle of poverty and illiteracy for low-income families by improving the literacy skills of parents and their young children. Its study design called for testing the effectiveness of 2 promising family literacy interventions in a sample of Even Start projects across the nation. 2 versions of each intervention were tested. One was solely focused on early childhood education in the classroom for 3 and 4-year-olds, and one that contained the same early childhood education component along with integrated parenting education and parent-child interactive literacy activities. The proven effective parent education program, Play and Learning Strategies, which is PALS for short, developed by Circle, and the high-quality Let's Begin with the Letter People curriculum. This study lasted for 3 years, and the results indicated that the CLIO study demonstrated positive impact on some of the literacy supports in pre-K classrooms, on time spent on child literacy, and on parenting skills in parent education classes. Also, the social aspect also improved. The second research we are going to talk about is the evaluation of curricular approaches to enhance preschool early literacy skills. This was again a 3-year study. There were 2 curricula designed to enhance the early literacy skills of 4-year-old preschool children were evaluated against a 3rd comparison condition. 35 Head Start preschool classrooms were assigned randomly to incorporate one of 2 early literacy curricular approaches. Let's begin with the Letter People or Waterford Early Reading Program Level 1 into their current curriculum. The high scope educational approach, or to use the high scope method alone. The broader objectives of the study were to provide Head Start and other pre-K educational settings with the evidence and programs that are necessary to substantially reduce reading problems through early prevention. This study demonstrated the positive effects of Let's Begin with the Letter People on code-related skills such as letter knowledge, letter sound correspondence, book and print knowledge, and emergent writing that underlie the later task of decoding words. The third research we need to discuss is an evaluation of curriculum, setting, and mentoring on the performance of children enrolled in pre-kindergarten. The evaluated population was 603 pre-kindergarteners who were enrolled in 3 types of full-day programs: Title I, Universal Pre-K, and Head Start programs. The children were 4 years of age at the start of the evaluation and 51% male. The program types had quite different breakdowns in racial composition. Overall, the sample was 21% African American, 42% Hispanic, 29% Caucasian, and 8% other ethnicity. The approach was that there were schools selected from a school district in Houston, Texas. The schools were randomly assigned to one of 3 conditions. Let's begin with the Letter People, Doors to Discovery, or a control condition. Schools that were assigned to receive a treatment program were then randomly assigned to either an additional mentoring program for teachers or no mentoring whatsoever. Both programs have a similar curriculum for building letter knowledge, phonological awareness, and language and motivation to read. Both also had similar structure. They used activity books, small group activities, and language building activities. The programs differ in that the Let's Begin program focuses more on letter knowledge and phonological awareness. The control group did not have any specific program, but was provided with normal materials that were used in the school. The results indicated that the children in the Let's Begin program had greater auditory comprehension gains than children in the control group. There was more growth in language comprehension in Head Start classes when compared with other classes. Mentoring teachers also played an important role in better results. On our last slide, we are going to discuss how the Let's Begin with the Letter People curriculum links to the Preschool Learning Foundation's California Preschool Standards. This model, as we were discussing, does address similar goals and strands as the Preschool Learning Foundations. Throughout my review on this curriculum, developmentally appropriate practice was evident. The booklets that are provided for teachers address how to set up the learning environment with suggested activities in each center. Along with this plan, the teacher is also guided to what the goals and objectives of each activities are. Teaching methods include group interactions and individual learning. There are many opportunities for the children to discuss their thoughts and to interact with one another. All teaching strategies are encouraged in order to facilitate student learning, such as encouraging, giving feedback, modeling, demonstrating, questioning, giving direct instruction, and scaffolding.